Hey YouTube, I'm Jessie the Lookout, and today I am answering a bunch of questions! First let me start off by saying I have missed you guys so much. I have been crazy busy at work. The last 2 months I've been working 2 jobs, so I would animate full-time during the day, and then come home and then keep animating at night, and it was challenging, but it ate up all of my time. And in November I participated in NaNoWriMo. This year I only made it to about 36,000 words, when last year I made it to 47,000, but this year I actually finished what I was working on, so when I was done it's like, how do I find the extra 14,000 words to do? As long as the story gets done, and as long as you get some work done during NaNoWriMo, that's really all that matters. Like, the people who make it to 50,000, like, that is a feat. But, I mean, if you get any writing done at all, then, like, good for you. You accomplished some things, and so that's how I'm choosing to look at it anyway. But now, for the future, I have started working from home, which means that I'm going to have lots of time to work on my personal projects. So, like, lots of drawing, and, like, comic stuff, and hopefully making videos for you guys. But for today, I thought it would just be fun to answer a bunch of random questions from the internet. I didn't get a ton of questions from my last question vlog, but I did get one, so I'll probably start with that one. The rest of my questions come from, like, question memes on the internet. And of course, I welcome all of you to answer these questions in the comments, or to suggest any questions for the next question vlog that I do. So, let's get to it. On my last question vlog, somebody asked me what was my favorite anime and what was the comic that got me into collecting. My favorite anime right now is Attack on Titan, because, like, it's so brutal. Like, it's very intense, and all the characters, like, you can feel, like, the anguish in them, and, like, humanity in this series is, like, fighting for every single inch. Like, we get an answer to one question and then, like, a million more questions show up. My biggest criticism of that show is that things tend to be a little slow. Like, the slow stretches tend to last for a long time, but then something happens and you're like, oh my god, my mind is being blown right now! And it is a ride. If you like horror animes, I definitely recommend watching it. But I think the anime with the biggest nostalgia factor for me is Cardcaptor Sakura. I really liked it as a kid, and, like, the cute costumes and, like, some of the animation in it and stuff, and it really influenced me growing up, so I think that would be my favorite of all time. And the comic that got me into collecting, that's actually really tough, because it wasn't really a comic that got me into collecting comics. It was a movie, and it was the movie that influenced me to start collecting comics was J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. And I know that seems, like, kind of weird and, like, really unrelated, but when I saw it in theaters, it blew my mind so hard that it made me want to embrace being a nerd, and, like, embrace being, like, a collecting geek, like, in my life. Because up until that point, like, I hadn't really been able to afford collecting things. Like, as a kid, like, I kind of grew up in a low-income household, so, like, I'd get, like, 1 or 2 Sonic comics, like, every couple of years, or, like, I read a lot of Archie. As I turned into an adult and got, like, a full-time job, then I had much more disposable income for collecting comic books. I think the one comic series that I started collecting first was Volume 3 of Teen Titans, the one where Tim Drake leads it, with Superboy, Wonder Girl, Raven, and Starfire and Beast Boy are their mentors. So I think that was the series that I first started collecting that I really wanted to get into. I hate the New 52. I hate what they've done to the Titans. They are awful. The reboot, I'm trying really hard to like it, but I went to the comic book shop a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't sure if they had put the most recent issue in my box, so they were, like, showing me covers, and they're like, have you read any of these? And I looked at them and I was like, I have no idea. Like, I know I must have read, like, issues 1 and 2, but, like, I don't remember those covers, and I can't even tell you what happened in them because they're just not memorable. None of the characters are memorable. I don't care about any of them. But Teen Titans, I think, is the first series that I started collecting. Have you ever found a writer who thinks just like you? If so, who? Neil Gaiman. Oh my god. His stories appeal to me on many levels. Like, when I'm reading them, I'm like, these are the worlds I want to be in. These are the characters and the things I want to interact with. His storytelling is just awesome. Like, it's so fantastic, but still really grounded. Like, he'll have, like, all these things happen and all these magical, wonderful, universe-altering things with all these existential themes, and then he'll ground them in really solid characters. And I love them. They're like really dark fairy tales. List your fandoms and one character from each that you identify with. A Song of Ice and Fire, I identify with Arya Stark and Sansa Stark the most out of everyone. In Teen Titans, I really enjoy Tim Drake. In Avatar and Korra, I relate most with the Airbenders. I love airbending. In the Marvelverse with Young Avengers, I associate with Kate Bishop because I think she is crazy badass. In Doctor Who, I relate most with Donna Noble. I think she's super cool. She's really like loud and obnoxious and like no nonsense, and I really admire that about her. And she's best friends with the Doctor, which is nice, which was a nice change from Rose and Martha. I felt really bad for Martha. I feel like she got shafted. In Gilmore Girls, which I've been watching a lot on Netflix, I associate a lot with Rory. And I realized recently that Rory was only 2 years older than I was when the show was airing, and I didn't watch it while it was airing, which is a real shame because I feel like Rory would have been a really good role model for me. Like, she was really nerdy and obsessed with books and kind of a shut-in, and like, I really relate to that even now, and like, recently I got my hair cut and I wanted it to be kind of Rory season 6, season 7, but like, they didn't really do what I wanted. But that's life. But I'm gonna stop there before I get too far. What's your Patronus? My Patronus would maybe be, I'm thinking a bird of some kind. My boyfriend would probably say a mouse or like a tiny bird. Ooh, if I got to pick and it wasn't just assigned to me like from my soul, I'd probably say like a raven or something. They're pretty cool. And not trainable. Like, I want a pet raven like so bad. But like, they do what they want. You can't train a raven. It trains you. List the top 5 things you spend the most time doing in order. So these aren't like my favorite things, but this is what I spend the most time doing. So animating. Oh god, I do other things. Okay, animating, so surfing Tumblr and social media, spending time with my boyfriend, drawing, video games. Those I think I spend the most time of my life doing. And like, it is my deepest fear that when I die, they're gonna like put everything I do into chunks, like accumulated time doing certain things, and like Tumblr is gonna be the thing that I spent years of my life doing. Infinite scroll is the best, worst invention. Like, gotta reach the bottom. You gotta reach the bottom, right? Ugh, horrible trap. Do you take the shampoo and conditioner bottles from Hotel? No, they're awful. They're awful for your hair. Like, whenever I weep when I forget to bring my own shampoo and conditioner because that crap strips your hair. It is awful and gross. If you want to steal the shampoo and conditioners from hotels, then like, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you because you have no idea what real hair products do to your hair. What is your least favorite movie? It's a tie between Wrong Turn and Jeepers Creepers. Oh my god, they were so bad they blew my mind. Do you have a creed? Do what thou will and harm none? Like, do what you want, just don't hurt anybody else. Like, I think it was Crowley who, in the 60s, was like, do what thou will shall be the whole of the law, but the whole quote includes, and it harm none. Like, I understand that he was an anarchist and a chaos magician, but, and it harm none. Which Harry Potter house would you be in, or would you be a muggle? Well, for a long time I wanted to be in Slytherin, but I think I am a Hufflepuff. Canada is filled with Hufflepuffs because we just like accepting people for who they are, and I know a lot of artists, and I think artists end up in Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff is also where all the stoners go. And if you'll remember, Hufflepuff is by the kitchen. Alright, so that's all the questions I'm going to be answering today. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Feel free to check out my channel to see what other kind of stuff I do. I do comic reviews, beauty unboxings, outfits of the week, vloggity stuff like this. I also have an Instagram, a Twitter, an art blog, and a fan Tumblr if you want to check that out in the doobly-doo below. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye!